All right, so I'm about to head out for my nightly run. I'm going to be heading out with my TicWatch E2, also my TicPods in ear. So I got some classic rock tuned up on the TicWatch E2. So I'm going to be listening to some music while I'm out running. I'm going to go for about, I don't know, about 7 to 10 miles tonight. Not really sure exactly how far I'm going to go. As you can see, it's a bit of a winter wonderland. However, it's actually 38 degrees out right now, so it's very abnormal for Michigan weather. So you can see I'm actually wearing shorts at the moment. Very abnormal for this time of year, but we're going to enjoy it. I'm going to probably go a little bit easy. When we get back into the office, I'm going to go ahead and test out the heart rate sensor, also the distance, because for the first like 3 or 4 miles, I'm actually going to be running on areas that I'm very familiar with each mile marker from other watches that I've used in the past. All right, so I'm about 2 miles into my run right now, and one of the things that I've noticed as I've been using the GoPro over the last like month or so is the fact that basically when you're looking at the watch, you get 3 running statistics at a time. So by default, it's always going to show you the time, and right now by default it's showing me my distance and then also my heart rate. You can switch that as you're running, but by default it's only showing you 3 things, one of them always being the time elapsed. So obviously a little bit of a limitation of the watch, the fact that it shows you only 3 by default. All right, so I'm back from my run with the TicWatch E2. I started out my 10-mile run, so I ended up running 10.1 miles. It took me about 72 minutes to do it, so hour and 12 minutes. And over the course of that time, I was listening to music the entire time, so listening to my classic rock playlist while I was actually running. And over that time, it ended up using about 50% battery. So you gotta think, while it's using GPS and music, so Bluetooth connected up to my TicPods, it burns through about twice as much battery as just GPS alone. So just GPS alone, typically that same run would be about 25%, so 72 minutes, 25%. Whereas when I was running with GPS and Bluetooth music playing at the same time over the course of 72 minutes, ended up going through not quite 50% battery. So I went from 71% battery at the beginning of the run down to 24 when I finished it. So 24% battery after 72 minutes. So obviously, if you do the math, you're probably not going to make it through an entire marathon. So if that's your goal and you want to be able to listen to music during the entire run, also while wearing the watch, unless you're a 2-hour marathoner, which I don't believe anybody is yet, then you're probably not going to be able to get through an entire marathon with the TicWatch E2. So just something to keep in mind. Obviously, if you're just using GPS, I could have easily gotten through an entire marathon you know, with the TicWatch E2, but other than that, just something to keep in mind. Battery life, obviously using both of those is going to eat through it pretty quick. So all right, so now that I'm back in the office, I want to go ahead and show you guys what kind of information you can get from the TicWatch E2 when it comes to your workout. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. So if you swipe to the right and then hit that little icon, it's going to take you into the Tic Exercise app. You can also get it from your app drawer as well by hitting that button. So we have our outdoor run. So these are just the activities you can track on this app in particular: outdoor run, outdoor walk, indoor run, cycling, freestyle, and then pool swim. So that's only available on the TicWatch E2 and the S2 because they are both 5 atmospheres water resistant. So I'm going to go back into outdoor run here so I can show you exactly what I was talking about earlier while I was out on the run. So first thing, it's going to find GPS. You can see it found it really quickly. And that's because it's actually connected up to my phone. Outside, it takes about 20 to 30 seconds if you don't have your phone with you and it's using just the watch's GPS. So just a heads up there, it found it really fast, and that's because it's connected up to my phone phone right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play so you guys can see what it's going to do. So it's going to give you a 3-second countdown, tells you to tighten your wrist, and I will say that if you want the most accurate heart rate, you do want it tight to your wrist, because if it's tight to your wrist, it will give you a very accurate heart rate. And so you can see here what I was mentioning earlier while I was out on the run. It's going to give you your elapsed time, your distance, and then your heart rate by default. Then if I swipe here, if it'll still work while it's auto paused, it's going to give you your calories burned, and then here is what is that? Your time? I'm not really sure what that's your current speed. And then the last thing it's going to show you here is your current pace. So that is all that it's going to show you, and again, you have to swipe through these in order to get the different ones. Now I'm going to go ahead and swipe over to the right so you can see how you end it. So there's a play and then also end. Now, to be completely honest, the thing I don't like about this app necessarily, and we're going to go ahead and delete that since I don't want to save it. The thing I don't like about this app is that it doesn't have any way to keep the screen always on. So the app that I actually prefer to use, and I'll go ahead and go into my app drawer here so you can see the one I was using just now, I believe was Tick Exercise. I'm not really sure where it's at, so I'll have to go down here. So that is right down here. You can see it has its own pool swim app there as well. But there's Tick Exercise. That was the app I was using. So of course you can use Strava, you can use Runkeeper, whatever you want. Those are all available here. But my favorite is actually Ghost Racer, and that's because of how customizable it is. And it does give you the option of keeping the screen always on. And I've found that as long as you use a black background, it's not going to burn through the battery any faster. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pretend that we already have GPS here. And you can see here, these are just the things that I've chosen for it to do. So time, pace, average pace, and then distance. And then I believe if I swipe over, it'll give me some other information as well. So I can do laps by holding down on the screen. So I've customized it so that it does that. And then heart rate down here as well. So that's just how I've customized it personally. You can customize it as much as you want, and it will also give you the option of keeping the screen always on, which is great. That's just what I prefer to use while I'm using a run, or while I'm going on a run with the TicWatch E2. So go ahead and set that down. And actually that's true of any Android Wear smartwatch. Now, as far as the information you're going to get on the watch, you can see you can use this app called Mobvoy. That's actually the app you're going to use in order to track all this information. So this was that outdoor run I did last night. So you can see distance 10.1. In the video I said 72 minutes. It actually took 74 minutes. Got calories burned. Heart rate, you can see very steady. Does a great job of tracking the heart rate. And again, as long as you have it tight enough to your wrist, it's going to do just fine there. You can see it's going to go through all the different paces. Very accurate. GPS is dead on. We have our step frequency, step length, things like that. And then you can see our distance, and you can see the route that it gave me. So there's my route, and it actually does all the mile markers, and you can click on it, and it'll give you the Google map as well. So good information. Is it the best? Obviously, if you get a Garmin, it's going to give you more information. But this isn't really meant to replace anything like a Garmin. This is much more of a smartwatch, whereas the Garmin, I would say much more is a activity tracker / GPS smartwatch. This designed specifically for runners, whereas this watch could be really for anybody. It just happens to also be a pretty decent health tracking device as well. So anyways, a quick look at the TicWatch E2 for runners. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.